Have you ever felt like you're constantly busy, yet never really making progress? You check things off your to-do list all day, emails, errands, small tasks, but when the day ends, your most important goals still feel untouched. You've worked hard, but the results don't match the effort. Here's the truth. Most of what you do doesn't actually move the needle. There's a simple rule that explains why and how to fix it. It's called the Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule. And once you understand it, you can stop wasting time on what doesn't matter and start focusing on the small few actions that create the biggest impact. Let's break it down. Over 100 years ago, an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto made an interesting observation. He noticed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by only 20% of the people. When he looked deeper, he found this pattern everywhere. 20% of the pea pods in his garden produced 80% of the peas. 20% of the businesses generated 80% of the wealth. And today, this pattern shows up almost everywhere in life. 20% of your clothes get worn 80% of the time. 20% of your customers bring 80% of your revenue. 20% of your habits create 80% of your success. This is the Pareto Principle, the idea that a small fraction of causes produce the majority of results. It's not always exactly 80-20. Sometimes it's 70-30 or 90-10, but the point is the same. Most of your outcomes come from a few key inputs. Here's why this principle is so powerful. If 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort, then most of what you're doing isn't worth much of your time. Think about it. You might spend hours managing minor tasks, answering every email, adjusting tiny details, attending meetings, but when the day ends, your most important goals still feel untouched. You've worked hard, but the results don't match the effort. The Pareto Principle isn't about being lazy. It's about being strategic. It's about doing less of the trivial many and more of the powerful few. So, how do you apply this to your life? Step 1, identify your 20%. Ask yourself, what are the few things that truly move the needle in my goals? For example, if you're a student, which 20% of study methods help you learn 80% of the material? If you're an entrepreneur, which 20% of clients bring 80% of your profits? If you're trying to get fit, which 20% of workouts deliver 80% of the results? To find your 20%, look for patterns. Review your past successes. Where did results actually come from? Chances are, a small portion of your actions, clients, or strategies are responsible for most of your progress. Once you spot them, double down on those. The second step is just as important. Eliminate or delegate the 80% that adds little value. We all have busy work, things that feel productive but aren't impactful. Examples: checking messages constantly, attending meetings with no clear purpose, over-polishing tasks that don't actually matter. These are time leaks, and the more you plug them, the faster you grow. So, make a list of your recurring tasks. Mark the ones that directly connect to your top results and be ruthless about the rest. Ask yourself, if I stopped doing this today, would it actually matter next week? If the answer is no, consider automating it, outsourcing it, or just letting it go. Now that you've identified what matters and cut what doesn't, it's time to focus your energy. That means protecting your time and attention for the tasks with the highest return. Start your day with the 20%. Work on your most important project first before distractions pull you away. Because in reality, you don't need more time. You need better focus. If you give your best 2 hours of energy to your highest impact tasks, you'll achieve more than spending 10 hours scattered across low-value ones. That's the Pareto way. Intentionally doing less, but better. Here's a crucial insight. Your 20% today might not be the same next month. As your goals evolve, so will the tasks that drive the biggest results. So, every few weeks, take time to reevaluate. Ask, what's truly working right now? What can I stop doing? The most successful people constantly refine their focus. They prune the unnecessary and reinvest time into what works best. Think of it like a garden. You have to keep trimming what doesn't grow to let your strongest plants flourish. Here's the mindset shift that ties it all together. Success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. When you stop spreading yourself thin, you create space for mastery. The world rewards depth, not busyness. And applying the 80-20 rule gives you the freedom to focus deeply on what truly matters. So, stop trying to be everywhere, do everything, or please everyone. Instead, identify the few high-impact actions and pour your best energy into them. That's how you multiply your results without multiplying your effort.
Let's recap. The Pareto Principle teaches that 20% of your effort creates 80% of your results. Step 1. Identify your vital 20%. Step 2. Eliminate the trivial 80%. Step 3. Focus your time and energy where it counts. Step 4. Reevaluate regularly and adapt. If you live by this rule, you'll achieve more not by working harder, but by working smarter and sharper. Remember, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right things consistently. If this video helped you see your time differently, leave a like, subscribe for more psychology and productivity lessons, and start applying the 80-20 rule in your own life today. Because once you do, you'll realize that the results you've been chasing were always within reach. You just needed to focus on the right 20%.